Hello. So this is probably about the first video on my main YouTube talking about this slab here. I did briefly mention it in the introductory I had. I couldn't quite see it. So currently have it completely flattened. It's just now getting ready to clean the bark off, try and clean up these edges a little bit, and then getting ready to seal these holes and these voids. That way I can actually start working with the epoxy that I want to fill in. Same thing with this big crack. I can't quite see it over on that side. I plan on having this as a waterfall coffee table. So I plan on keeping this side of it as the actual coffee table itself. And then from about, move some tools here, from about here down is where the waterfall will actually take into effect. And then that would be the legs for the one side. And then this side here we'll get some metal table legs. Not quite sure what I want yet. Still kind of open to my ideas there. I haven't fully decided. There's 1.5 million options out there, but I do like the one side waterfall and one side different legs. I think the two-sided waterfall kind of gets a little kind of busy. So yeah, just kind of come along. We'll go ahead and knock some of this stuff off, make a giant mess, and yeah. This slab was nothing super exotic by any means. It's more of a local tree to the area I live. At least I do believe so. It's a Canadian coffee tree. So I'm not terribly 100% sure what this will actually end up looking like. What do you guys like to listen to while you do some woodworking? Kind of curious. Seems everyone has a very big variety of what they actually listen to. Or some people don't even listen to anything. So we're going to try to pick it up from this angle. Trying to get so you can see a little bit more of it. The side here might be a little bit on the darker side. But yeah, so I got the other side mostly done. I got all the bark off. I have the quick first kind of light sand done. I still obviously need to go back and sand a lot more. Pretty much always can sand more. But yeah, so kind of flip around. We'll start over here on this side now. So we got both the sides cleaned off. It's really hard to show the video. Can't quite get this angle. If I had another person here, it's like every other channel does it. I'd probably be able to show it a little bit better while doing it. So right now, just kind of, we'll skip that. We'll just time lapse her there. So I do have a couple holes. As I said earlier, this thing is pretty bug riddled. Pretty large hole. Most of these holes here, and I do even believe this one, is actually all connected. Little sucker was in here doing the wave. So I'd like to fill most of this with an epoxy. This is also my first time using epoxy, so we're in for a very big learning curve on this one together. So most of these are pretty shallow, I do believe, just using tape, and I'll just hot glue a board back here for some rigidity. I believe that should be enough to hold it. So yeah, it's kind of what we're going to do now. We'll go around and tape these up and flip her over, and we'll probably pour from the other side. The holes on the other side are a little bit larger, so it'll be a little easier to fill those. And then we also have that crack down here to fill, so that'll be a big one as well. So yeah, nothing left but just to do it. How can you never find a knife? There's so many of them floating around in this basement. They're always missing. So I'm not terribly worried. Here, we're gonna zoom in. Enhance. Alright. So you can kind of see tape is overhanging. This crack just ever so slightly. All of this is going to need to be resurfaced anyhow. So that little bit of an overlap, it's no biggie. It should be able to fill in there pretty well. This one I thought actually went through all the way. It does not. So what I might actually do is just a big knot hole that hasn't fully gone through. I might actually try and drill this out. That way it can just go through both sides, make it a little bit easier instead of trying to fill one side, fill the other side. And so yeah, we're actually going to drill that out here real quick. Okay. Okay. After waiting God knows how long, these things are the slowest things to warm up. Sitting here like watching paint dry. We're not ready. Off camera, I did cut some just scrap plywood I had laying around. It's perfect size to cover up all these holes. So what I'm going to do is put a bunch of hot glue. All of these are just covering up the large holes. There are still some cracks, but this tape should be able to hold. So I'm going to go through, put a bunch of hot glue, kind of smoosh these down, and fingers crossed it all holds. So that's all we're gonna do for now. We'll come back. I'm gonna let this stuff sit. Got a little busy for the night, so we'll come back and do the pour tomorrow. Have a good one.